Hey everybody, welcome to Webinar Wednesday. And there might be a little bit of an echo in here. I apologize in advance because I'm actually on a business trip. And so I'm in the business center and they have these really cool rooms that we can meet in. And so that's where I'm at today, traveling. So thank you for being patient with me. But I did want to make sure that we stay super consistent with Webinar Wednesdays, even if things come up. We want to come live, not pre-recorded. Pre-recorded is it's really nice. It's easy to digest because you can do the edits. You can keep it short. You can take out the ums. You can take out the you knows. You can take out all those filler words. But I'm going to say that I really like to do live streams. I teach a lot online through Zoom. And so I just love having just that face-to-face. And I get it. It's technology. It's Zooms. It's webinars. But I think there's this really cool thing that comes from authenticity, where it feels like you're just across the kitchen table having a conversation. And it's not edited. It's just unfiltered. It's raw. It's coming straight from the heart. And so that's why in 2026, we're doing these on a weekly basis, coming live. And we're going to get better as time comes along. But I want to put out as many webinars, as many live streams as possible, because there's a lot of relevant information that's floating around in the marketplace out there and in the environments for home buyers or real estate agents and financial advisors and all those professionals that help support our communities. And I want to get this out there just as soon as possible, not with a generic post, like, hey, did you know that the loan limits went up, or did you know this? And those are cute, those are nice. I have a few of my own, but I'm going to show that we're in a society where if you're driving to work, you just pop up different things on your phone, or if you're waiting at the airport, like I do quite a bit, you're just basically just consuming information. And learning that way. So I just put this out there. Of course, I love meeting in person. So if we get the opportunity to get in the same room together, whether it's one-on-one or you and your entire team, I look forward to serving you in that capacity. Okay, so for a lot of you, you heard me hype up today's episode. And the gist of today's episode has to do with removing the pressure that home buyers oftentimes experience when they get curious about buying a home. I'm going to tell that none of us like to feel pressured or be pressured. And so we avoid a lot of different things so that we could just alleviate any possibility of being pressured or being tucked into something. And so a lot of times we miss out. We miss out because we could have taken advantage of an amazing opportunity that we didn't know existed, but only because we didn't make ourselves available. And of course, I've been in mortgages since 1997, so I just celebrated 28 years in December. And I work with real estate agents across the country to help them serve their clients at a higher level. And one of the hardest things for us as real estate professionals to do is to have someone feel confident enough to look into buying a home. And let me take a few steps back. Maybe it doesn't have to do with confidence. Maybe they know that they will probably get been approved for something, but they just don't feel comfortable. So then again, our jobs as real estate professionals is to help these potential home buyers to feel comfortable. So now we're talking about comfortable, confident. And why is it that they feel like they can't talk to somebody about the possibilities? Well, there's this thing out there that's not real, but it feels real. and it's called commission breath. How many of us know that that's a really gnarly thing that exists in a lot of different professions out there? And I think it exists to a certain extent in real estate as well. As soon as someone says, yeah, I'm thinking about buying, this year or next year. I mean, literally, like, you can feel the whole supermarket go quiet because it's like, ooh, who's the real estate agent in the house that comes running over with their business card? Or, ooh, who's that mortgage loan officer that's going to come in and try to help that person find out what they pre-qualify for? And of course, I'm exaggerating here, but that's the way consumers feel. And how do I know that? Well, I'm a consumer too. And I feel that way when it comes to buying a car. And so there's a lot of apprehensions that I have when it comes time for me to go out and buy a car. And I try to do as much research before I step foot on that parking lot, because I know as soon as I step foot on that parking lot, I am a fish surrounded by sharks. And they don't want me to go to the next dealership that's literally 5 feet away and to look at what they have available. And their jobs are to just make sure I stay there. And they want to get me in that room, right? The finance room. And so as soon as you know, give a little bit of interest in one of the cars on the lot, you know, they want you to go in that room and you can't get out. Of course you can get out, but it feels like that pressure, right? You can't get out until, you know, you get the payment that you want and you get the keys. And so I get it. And so I'm prepared when it comes to that. But what if we could create an environment right now here in 2026 for potential home buyers, someone that's just curious, someone that doesn't want to interact with someone that has gnarly commission bread? What if we could just, I'm sorry, I just had a phone call come in, I had to put on do not disturb. One of the beauties of being live, right? But what if we could just set them up to where they can put their feet in the water, not just the toe, they can put their whole foot in the water, they can sit by the pond and nobody's gonna go pressure them. And we can take their online research, the stuff that, you know, as they're window shopping on Zillow or whatever app they like to use to look at homes, and instead of relying on AI and whatever junk information they're going to throw in front of them, as far as, like, you know, your payment could be this and your interest rate could be, you know, what it was in 2020, you know, these unrealistic information and expectations that they're setting for the client, to where they could have a bona fide, valid quote that's applicable to them. It lets them know what programs can truly meet them where they're at. Whether they have 20% to put down or if they have nothing to put down. Even if they don't even have their closing costs saved up at this point because life has happened, but they can afford a home, we have options for them. But how can they explore that without the pressure? And so when in America, when people are curious and want to take it one step further, and in my case, you know, when I'm ready to get into the parking lot and have my boxing gloves on to fight off the people coming to sell me on something, right? So when consumers are ready to just kind of just say, okay, I'm going to make myself available for a conversation, and I know it's coming next. And thankfully, you know, there's a lot of people in our profession that do not have commission breath. And so they make it easy for the potential borrower, potential home buyer, to explore options without much pressure. But there's one thing that most loan officers in America don't have at their disposal to offer to their clients that my team does. And this isn't a pitch to use me and my team. There's many lenders that do have access to this, but most lenders do not. And I just want to make sure this information gets out there into the public. That way we are all helping potential home buyers proceed with confidence, proceed with comfort, and they don't feel that unnecessary pressure. So this tool that's available for my clients today, if you're a real estate agent or a financial advisor, this is available to your clients today, DM me and I can tell you about some of the benefits that we could do working together. But what it's called is a soft pull. And you're probably wondering, well, what's a soft pull? That sounds weird. How is that going to change the market in 2026? How is that going to help increase the number of home buyers that are out there in America? What is a soft pull? Well, a lot of people who are looking to explore buying a home, and then they do get that comfort and courage and confidence to talk to a loan officer. Most loan officers in America are requiring them to get a hard hit on their credit report. And for most people, they could get a credit inquiry and it's not going to hurt them that bad. But then there's some people, the average American, who has, decent credit, enough to qualify for a lot of loans out there, even conventional loans for that matter. But once they get a credit pull, they might lose several points on their credit score, and it might dip them under a 720, or it might dip them under a 680, or it might take them under 640. And once we start to drop under some of these thresholds, it starts to eliminate the possibilities or make their interest rate a little bit higher. And so if they're only like 10% sure that they're going to do something in the next 90 days, a lot of them are just not wanting to take that step to protect their credit. And how many of us know that that's a huge disservice for these potential home buyers, because there's a soft pull option that's out there in the marketplace right now, and they just need to find that lender that can offer that to them. And what a soft pull is, it's a credit inquiry that doesn't show up as a hit on the credit report. So the lender's able to look at their credit report, give them an assessment of what they qualify for, what they don't qualify for, and be able to go out and shop with confidence, because there's not that pressure. They didn't get a hit on their credit report. There's no pressure for them to do anything right away. And it's because they were empowered with some information, valuable information. Actually, my particular team is able to issue a pre-qualification form with the soft pull. Now, there's a lot of lenders that have the soft pull option, but they don't have the capacity or the capability, I should say, to issue a pre-qualification form without a hard hit credit report. And my team and I, thankfully, were aligned with the #1 mortgage broker by volume in 2025. And so we have a lot of tools and resources for our client. We're able to not only do a soft pull, but also get what we call an automated underwriting pre-approval. Is what we call in our industry AUS approval. And so we're able to issue a pre-qualification form with a soft pull. And so again, this just empowers that client. It helps cross them over to the other side without feeling that pressure to go out and proceed with confidence. And here's what's in it for the real estate agent, is that instead of having someone that's just 10% sure that they're going to do something in the next 90 days, after they have this added information, without the pressure, without the credit hit, without losing points on their credit score, without feeling the pressure of having to do something within the next 90 to 120 days before another credit report is going to be required, they're able to just take their time, be comfortable, confident, and then have that courage to, explore a little bit further. So now we're taking them from a 10% probability, and by adding the comfort and the confidence and the courage, let's call it the 3 C's for now, we're probably going to jump them up to a good 40, 50%, maybe even higher. And imagine that. Imagine if we were able to empower potential home buyers across America with the soft pull option. Not to just get an assessment, but to also get the pre-qualification form. That's going to help this economy go a little bit faster, because how many of us know that when real estate is strong in America, the rest of the economy follows suit? And of course, we're all waiting for interest rates to go really, really low again, which may never happen. Getting a low interest rate is very important, but having all the information you need to go out and make a comfortable, confident, and courageous decision without the pressure, I think that's even more important. There's so much more to a mortgage, to a home loan than just the rate. It has a lot to do with making sure you're in the right program to begin with, making sure that it's something that's the right strategy for you, and of course the service. And having that soft pull option is part of that service that goes into having that perfect combination of rates, fees, service, and just the right options to get into for a good strategy for the next 5 to 10 years, and even towards retirement as well. Awesome. Well, I am so thankful that you took the time to get this information. And if you want to shed more light on this or explore how we can get this information into the right hands, whether to better serve your communities, to help you grow your business, in whatever way we can serve you, my team and I are ready to talk. We're ready to empower and ready to just make 2026 1,000 times better than if we were not to put this series together for you and empower you with not only the soft pull, but then in the coming episodes and upcoming live streams and webinars, just the amazing products and programs that are out there. As my team and I, and I'm done with the presentation, so if you got to go, that's fine, but I'm going to give you a prequel for what to expect, a preview of what to expect in the coming weeks and months. So my team and I, we're having a hard time of, which niche product do we want to talk about next or first? And there's so many amazing ones. And so what we're flirting with the idea on is to put 5 to 10 podcast episodes out there that's just a very high level, quick introduction to a lot of these options. For most people, it's going to be a very boring listen to. And that's why we're going to keep them short, because we're not going to get too deep into them, but we just want to just share briefly what the possibilities could look like. And in the back of your mind that Mike's team and his company can do a lot. They have a lot of different options out there to help people that are normally hearing no get a yes, turning let's wait and see or go do this, taking a 2 to 3 year assignment and getting them done. Home buyers the keys in 2 to 3 months. And so we're trying to create a simple, easy way to get the right information out to you. But if you can't wait for all this content to come out, you have a scenario or a situation or some obstacles that you want to talk about today, well, that's what we've been doing for the last 28 years, day in, day out. And so we're happy to engage with you. It doesn't matter what part of the country that you're in. The company that I work for covers 49 states, every state except for New York. And we have a nationwide team of over 2,000 loan officers. So we can find someone in your area, your community, that can help you go further, faster, get the 3 C's, have that courage, have that comfort, and then just have that amazing, which is super, super important, confidence. That way we could proceed with confidence. Hey, thanks again, everybody. Have an amazing week. Let's finish the second half of February 2026 strong. And until next time, have a fantastic day and God bless.